What's up, guys? It's your guy Manson King 254, and you are back with another episode. So, guys, today let us continue with the discussion about some of the things you can invest with as low as 5,000. Ndio nichanue mayouth huku nje wajue investment is not all about a huge amount. Unaweza invest with as little as 5,000. Most people huku nje, they do wish and desire to be wealthy, because wealth is the ability to live the lifestyle that you wish or want without working. So that's where passive income comes in. Passive income is a money stream that requires less or no effort needed, because with passive income unaweza earn pesa hata ukiwa umelala, because money is working for you. And that's why Miles Monroe usually says, never chase money, chase value, because when you are valuable, money will always chase you, ama money will always follow you, because you are valuable or you have the ability or the capability that it's always needed. So guys, let us today discuss the option 2 yenye unaweza always invest with as little as 5,000, which is bond fund ama fixed income fund. Fixed income funds are mutual funds that focus on investing on bonds or other debt securities, which make the fund to be suitable for investors who are seeking for a reasonable cash flow in interest or a steady growth of their capital. Bond fund usually invest your money in corporate bonds and treasury bonds. Treasury bonds usually enable the government to raise capital to enable the government projects such as infrastructure development, some kituka roads, EVs, etc. A fixed income fund is a medium to low risk investment that usually has a steady flow of income depending on the interest rate. And mostly, we usually recommend people to invest more than 2 to 3 years at least to maximize their gains, at least kupunguza withdrawal of interest frequently. Because also the best thing about fixed income funds, you can always withdraw with 2-3 working days, though it's always recommended to reinvest your interest instead ya withdraw, so as to maximize your profit at least with 2 to 3 years. Itakuwa imegain fiti because they are pure also ya compounding interest, which utakuwa umefaidika. Fixed income investments always inakonga attractive to many investors because at least they always offer a degree of assurance in either in timing ama you can always plan na cash yako, you always unajua specific time yenye itamachua ama uko assured hiyo do yako itaingia, so always you can always plan with your cash ama interest in the future ama with a specific time, because you are assured that hiyo do lazima itaingia na within a specific time ama within a specific period. So in fixed income funds, mostly the funds manager usually pull money from different investors ama from different people and select the best performing bonds so that they can invest in them, and wakipata returns they usually share accordingly to the amount yenye umeinvest and the period pia yenye imekaa. Alafu pia the best thing about fixed income is that you don't go around sourcing bonds zenye zina perform well kwa market. Funds manager at least they have the knowledge ama the capability ya kujua which bond iko fiti kuinvest on, so at least unakuwa at a better place. Hiyo haso ya kutafuta uko covered for, so kazi yako tu ni kusunda tu pesa yako hapo vilivyo, and unakuwa unasaidika na faida because they outa go around the bonds market sourcing the best performing bonds. The best thing about fixed income fund ni ati you are saving while investing at the same time, so you are killing two birds with one stone. Then you can always withdraw within 2 to 3 working days kama vile nimewacha pia, and also you can always invest with as little as 5,000 in any fixed income funds because zingine zina offer even less. Mostly companies zenye zina offer money market funds usually have the fixed income funds na utakuwa sorted, because mostly some companies such as Britam Insurance ama CIC Insurance, they do offer fixed income funds with as little as 5,000. Now you can invest your cash as long as you want, na always you can always top up, so unakuwa sorted with some profit, na pia zina grow tu vilivyo, instead ya kwenda kuchapa sherehe ama nini hapa ama nini, atunaogopa kuinvest because you think investing is all about huge cash. So that's why I took the initiative ya kuchapia maboys huku nje ama magaldem huku nje that they can usually invest with as little as 5,000, utakuwa sorted always. At least utakuwa with guarantee of some passive income zinaingia hapa kule. Fixed income funds are usually best opportunity ama best place to always invest your cash at all you are always interested with kuingia kwa bonds market. If at all you don't have the bare minimum amount required to invest directly through the CBK, which is Central Bank of Kenya, so you can always invest your cash kwa fixed income fund, which at least it reduces the bare minimum required to as little as 5,000 na utakuwa sorted. So guys, wacha niwaguzie hapa kule some of the requirements you are needed to invest in bonds directly through the CBK. If at all you have some mulas zenye uko nazo, at least umejiekea for some while, ama you have some huge amounts zenye unataka kuinvest in bonds, because mostly ukiinvest directly through the CBK, the interest rates yenye utapata it's usually higher compared to kuinvest through a bond fund. So guys, a bond is an agreement between the lender and the borrower, and mostly borrowers usually issue bonds to raise money from investors who are willing to put their money in or to lend their money for a specific period of time with a specific interest rate, at least ndio afeel fiti. Usually there are two types of bonds. One of them is government bonds, which are issued by the government of Kenya via the CBK, Central Bank of Kenya. The next one is corporate bonds, which are usually issued by corporate entities such as banks, Safaricom, Rolling Mabati, etc. So nowadays usually corporate bonds ziko less because of trust issues, because in the previous years kumekuwa na issue ya corporate bonds zimekuwa zilipwi na watu wanakuwa disappointed, so wase wengi wana opt kupotelea government bonds because at least they have huge returns na pia they are safe na ziko guaranteed, hata capital preservation yao iko fiti. You can never lose your cash through the government bonds. Also kwa government bonds, there are two types of government bonds, which moja ni FXD, which are usually taxed withholding tax of 10 to 15% depending na duration, because the higher the duration the less withholding tax inakuwa. So wase wenye wana invest in FXD za seme like 2 years, mostly unapatanga withholding tax yao mostly ni 15%, na those people who wana invest in to 10 and above ama 20 years, 10, 20 years, 30 years, mostly unapatanga withholding tax zao ziko less, which is around 10%. So unapatanga gava pia utry ku encourage wase to usually invest in long term bonds. Bonds the gava mostly zinakuwa they do have capital preservation, so you can never lose your money anytime, even in case of exchange of powers. Tuseme gava fulani kama tuseme wenye wali invest na gava ya Kibaki till today bado wanapata returns zao safi, even if there have been some change of government. And the other option ni infrastructure bonds, which are always tax free. Hizo hazinanga withholding tax, so hizo ni profit yako unaipata nayo vilivyo ikiwa imejaa. Bonds are usually issued on a monthly basis by the government, and you can always check them out via the CBK website, or pia unaweza pitia pale NSE, the Nairobi Security Exchange for secondary trading, which ni kama tuseme for instance kuna bond ya last year unataka kununua, you can always go to the secondary market na utapata. You can always sell or buy bonds anytime. Hata tuseme bonds ya like 5 years ago for instance ilikuwa ina mature in 30 years, you can always go hapo kwa Nairobi Security Exchange and check out bonds zenye unataka, because utapata even the 5-10 years back zenye zilikuwa issued na kuna msemo mwenye anataka kuziuza, so you can always invest in them na utakuwa fiti. And guys, if at all unataka kuinvest in bonds directly through the CBK, always unahitajika a CDS account under Central Bank of Kenya, and some of the requirements to open a CDS account through the CBK, unahitajika national ID, KRA pin na passport photo. So utafika hapo na utasaidika na utafungua account yako moja safi. The minimum amount to invest in regular bonds ni 50,000 na to invest in infrastructure bonds unahitajika a minimum of 100 Gs na utakuwa sorted. You can always top up with a multiple of 50 Gs, which is 50 50 50 50. You can never invest with lower than 50k. Treasury bonds usually they are secured, ziko fiti vilivyo. You can never lose your cash through ukiwa umeinvest in treasury bonds, so always ufai kuogopa. You can always invest in them because ziko 100% secured, because it's a medium to long term investment, because some bonds zinakuanga 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, 20 years. Alafu investing directly through the CBK in bonds, usually the payouts usually ni after 6 months, because ilipangwa after the maturity date, which is after every 6 months 6 months 6 months. So hizo, if at all maybe sasa unataka kuuza, ndio maybe unaweza zi access mapema than the 6 months ama mapema than the maturity date, because always unaweza ziuza in the secondary market za bonds. So guys, that's the second option, and you can invest with as little as 5,000. So keep subscribing to my channel Manson King TV, na mtakuwa umenijenga vilivyo. At least hata mimi nipate moral na motisha ya kuzidi kuwatupia mavideo hapa kule. At least tusaidike sisi wote. Adios muchachos.